What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Wednesday, March 27th, 2024, and I have an emergency alert to share with you guys. Right now, it is 13:51 Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from Belarus. So, the president of Belarus inspected his army in the Ashmiani area, which is just 10 miles from the Lithuanian border. And this is where they recently moved an entire mechanized brigade and put that brigade on wartime status and drafted 5,000 new troops for that brigade. And I've been reporting on that the last 2 weeks, and so has KLW World News inventor Lee Wilbarger. And now the president of Belarus visits that brigade and said to the commander that they will have to fight against the Baltic states and conquer a part of Poland in order to create a land bridge between Belarus and Russian Kaliningrad. Okay, so this is huge, guys. Belarus is getting ready to invade Lithuania and Poland, and this happened yesterday. And also, yesterday, the president of Belarus said that the situation along their northwestern border with Latvia and Lithuania is very difficult. So, guys, it's coming. I think it's going to come this spring as soon as the ground dries up. I think we're going to see Belarus, along with Russian forces, invade Lithuania and Poland to try to make a land bridge to Kaliningrad, or at the very least, open up another front for NATO, maybe make a small incursion into Lithuania. But this is very, very serious, and I have some video of that interaction that the president of Belarus had with the local commander there, where they were talking about fighting against the Baltic states and conquering a part of Poland to make a land bridge. Want to just show you guys what we have going on in the skies here in the US this afternoon. So right now we have a nuke sniffer plane in the air flying over Wichita, Kansas. Now what's interesting is late last night we had a nuke sniffer plane fly to Japan. So I don't know if they're expecting some kind of nuclear test in North Korea, but this is very concerning. And earlier this morning, we had a presidential Doomsday plane doing loops over the Appalachians and the Ohio Valley area. And at the same time, we had two nuclear war command and control planes in the air. So our nuclear forces are still on high alert. And just over the last week, we made two nuclear bomber runs to the border of Russia. Okay. That is very provocative. We sent two B-1 strategic nuclear capable bombers to the Kola Peninsula in Russia, which is where Russia has their Northern Fleet base. That's where they have most of their nuclear armed submarines. We did that twice already. Okay. That is extremely serious, guys. Okay. So want to just show you guys this video of Lukashenko, the president of Belarus. I'm going to read to you the translated subtitles. So what's funny is he's just sitting here with his generals and he's got his dog on his lap. It's pretty funny. I mean, I don't know if this is even serious or not, if this is just all for show. This update was sponsored by My Patriot Supply. Guys, My Patriot Supply has brought back their 25% discount on their 3-month emergency food supply. And to get the discount, you got to use the link preparewithnyprepper.com. And the link is in the description below this video. But this 3-month emergency food supply has a 25-year shelf life. It includes over 2,000 calories per day, breakfasts, lunches, dinners, drinks, and snacks, all contained within 6 rugged water-resistant buckets, and free shipping is included. So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get $200 off or 25% off of the My Patriot Supply 3-month emergency food supply. The link is in the description below this video. Free shipping is included. They also have a general store where they sell all kinds of prepping and survival products, and they're always running various discounts. And to get to their general store, you just got to click on the My Patriot Supply logo when you get to preparewithnyprepper.com at the top of the page, and you'll see their general store where they sell all kinds of prepping and survival products, and they're always running discounts here. So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get 25% off of the My Patriot Supply 3-month emergency food supply, and the link is in the description below this video. Just to show Putin that he's being tough, but let's listen to this.
Чтобы мы упрощенно к этому не относились, мы должны точно знать, чего они хотят.
So he says, so that we do not treat it in a simplified way, we must know for sure what they want.
А сколько у нас все время они вякают про эти Сувалский коридор, сколько...
And how much they talk about these Suwalki corridors all the time. How many kilometers to Russia, to the Kaliningrad region from our borders. So he's saying, how far would it be to cross from Belarus to Kaliningrad over the Suwalki Gap, the Suwalki Gap in Poland and Lithuania? That's a little piece of land stuck between Kaliningrad and Belarus.
Тут километров до России, до Калининградской области от наших границ. Ну вот там
42 километра.
напрямую.
Если по прямой, а если по границе?
And his general says in a straight line about 90 miles. And his general says if in a straight line and if and his general says if in a straight line and if along the border about 90 kilometers. So that's about 55 miles or so.
Около 90.
Практически ничего.
And then he says almost nothing.
Зря они себя так ведут. Но в данный момент...
And then he says, but at the moment you will have to resist the Baltic republics.
Тебе придется противостоять Балтийским республикам и часть...
And you are taking over part of Poland. Okay, so let me just read that to you again. Okay, this is where he says, but at the moment you will have to resist the Baltic republics and take over part of Poland. Okay, he's talking about what would be needed to cross the Suwalki Gap.
Тебе придется противостоять Балтийским республикам и часть Польши ты прихватываешь.
Там небольшую.
And then his general says a small part of Poland, the northeastern part.
Северную часть, да? Северо-восточную. Спланировано, ты уверен, что это...
And then he says, are you sure that this territory is on the front and you will be able to keep it with your troops?
По фронту эта территория, ты ее удержишь своими войсками.
Существуют документы военного планирования, все действия спланированы.
And then his general says, there are military planning documents, all actions are planned. The questions of combat readiness are being worked out. The personnel are being prepared, including what is provided set by your instructions, is now being executed at the disposal of the Minister of Defense in the framework of the preparation of fortifications of the regions. We do not just go to the areas of field entry and the areas of exercises. We are now in the real areas so that the personnel of the officers knew the terrain, knew the roads, knew where, how, and what. So he's basically saying that they've already deployed and they already have plans for this, and they've trained in the actual terrain where this would take place. Okay, they've trained close to the border of Poland and Lithuania, and everything is basically planned out. So this is very, very serious, guys. Very, very serious. And I guess Lukashenko is delusional. I mean, if he thinks he can conquer part of Poland, he's nuts. His army would be completely annihilated in very short order. And this is the location where the Belarusian military moved an entire mechanized brigade to within 10 miles of the Lithuanian border. This is the 19th Mechanized Brigade. Okay, so it's in wartime status now. It has 62 T-72 tanks, 219 combat armored vehicles, and 78 artillery systems, 14 air defense systems. So nothing that Poland or Lithuania couldn't deal with. Well, at least Poland. I don't know so much about Lithuania, but this is nothing. Poland would completely turn all this equipment into scrap metal in short order. And we also have some concerning news coming out of Serbia. The president of Serbia is threatening to invade Kosovo again. Okay. I want to read to you what he wrote yesterday on social media. He wrote, "Difficult days are ahead of Serbia. At this moment, it is not easy to say what kind of news we have received in the last 48 hours. They directly threaten our vital national interests, both of Serbia and Republika Srpska. In the coming days, I will introduce the people of Serbia to all the challenges that lie ahead. It will be difficult, the most difficult so far. We will fight. We will win." Wow. Okay, so this is extremely serious, guys. And last week, he directly said that they're going to have to invade Kosovo. Okay. And the Latvian Foreign Ministry declared the Russian diplomat in Latvia persona non grata and ordered him to leave the country by April 10th. And I forgot to mention that yesterday, Lukashenko, the president of Belarus, said that Latvia and Lithuania have 8,000 troops on the border with Belarus, supposedly. And I want to update you on the Moscow concert hall shooting. So yesterday, the president of Belarus said that the suspects were detained near the Belarus border and that they were originally going to try to go into Belarus when they were fleeing, but then they were forced to divert to the Ukrainian border due to strengthened security measures at the Belarus border. And this actually contradicts what Putin said about the shooters going directly to the Ukrainian border and that the Ukrainians prepared a window for them to cross into Ukraine. So I thought this was a pretty funny slip up by Lukashenko, and it basically makes this whole story that Putin cooked up to look like a big lie, okay? Because he said they were going to the Ukrainian border and they had a window prepared for them. But now the Belarusian president said that they were originally going to go to the Belarus border. Okay. And Lukashenko always makes these slip ups, like right before Russia invaded Ukraine. You remember when he was showing that map and he had the pointer stick and he was showing on the map where the invasion routes were going to be. And that was like a week or two before the invasion. So pretty funny. And the FSB, that's the Russian intelligence service, the new KGB, is expected to make an important statement in the coming days regarding the concert hall shooting. So my guess is they're going to blame Ukraine, blame America, blame NATO, because that's what they've been doing. The FSB director said yesterday that it was Ukraine, the US, and the UK that were involved in planning this concert hall attack, and Putin said the same exact thing. So this could be grounds for nuclear war, okay? And the Crocus City Hall shooting investigative committee will consider an appeal from the Russian State Duma deputies to investigate the organization and financing of terror attacks by the United States and other Western intelligence services directed against the Russian Federation. Very interesting. So they're going to be investigating the support of the U.S. and Western intelligence for terror attacks in Russia. And yesterday, a former Belarusian military commander, Valery Zakhashchik, who switched sides and is now working against Lukashenko and is on the side of NATO, said on Belarus independent media outlets that Lukashenko is preparing to attack Lithuania using troops of the Republic of Belarus and the Russian Federation. So it looks like Russian troops are going to come under the command of Lukashenko. I could see that happening. And he's not going to be able to do that without Russian troops. If he just sends his own army in, they're going to get annihilated. Okay, he needs the Russian troops. And a gas pipeline was blown up in Kaliningrad on March 22nd. A gas substation caught fire on Yubilianaya Street in Kaliningrad. The Partisan Telegram channel wrote on March 26th that it was a partisan operation, while city authorities and pro-government media are trying not to use the word arson when reporting the incident. So looks like we may have one of our first cases of partisan activity in Kaliningrad. And the situation in Belgorod is continuing to escalate. We still have shelling every single day in Belgorod, whether it's the rebels, whether it's the Russian government shelling their own cities. I am not too sure, but here we have some video footage, and you can hear all of the kabooms in the background. And here we have video footage of this pipeline in Kaliningrad, a gas pipeline that was sabotaged by partisans. One of the first cases of partisan activity in Kaliningrad. And my guess is it's probably going to increase as time goes on. So pretty serious flame there coming from this pipeline. And France is going to be going into wartime production of ammunition. France may requisition staff, stock, or facilities for arms production or force manufacturers to prioritize military over civilian orders, the French defense minister said today. So France is going into wartime production of arms and ammunition. And French President Emmanuel Macron's statement about the possible deployment of troops to Ukraine has apparently angered American officials, who said on conditions of anonymity that such a move could even lead to the risk of a clash with Moscow. And the Polish National Security Council head said that there needs to be discussions on bringing back mandatory military service in Poland. And the International Armored Vehicle Coalition for Ukraine met for the first time today in Warsaw, Poland. The coalition was formed by Poland and Germany a few weeks ago and is currently supported by the UK, Sweden, and Italy. So they're trying to find tanks for Ukraine. And France intends to adapt its AASM aerial bombs for F-16s, which will be delivered to Ukraine by Western allies. So this way, the Ukrainians can use these aerial bombs with the new F-16s that they're going to receive very soon. And this was stated by the French defense minister. And the Israeli Air Force carried out airstrikes overnight last night against Hezbollah positions in Lebanon. And the Israeli Air Force also launched a limited airstrike campaign in Rafah in Gaza yesterday. And Hezbollah launched at least 30 rockets towards northern Israel overnight last night, which made several impacts in an industrial area. And apparently 6 Chinese soldiers were killed in an attack at the Pakistan border by Pashtun fighters. They ambushed these Chinese soldiers at the Pakistan border. Very serious situation there. Pakistan is a nuclear-armed country, guys, okay? So we could see a nuclear clash between China and Pakistan if things don't settle down over there. And I want to show you guys some more flights from Europe last night. We had several Russian Doomsday planes go east to the Urals and Siberia. One landed in Novosibirsk, one landed in Omsk, one went to St. Petersburg, and one went to Chelyabinsk. So very, very interesting. Not sure what the reason for that is. And we had a lot of NATO reconnaissance over Eastern Europe again last night. We had a Swedish reconnaissance plane patrolling the Finnish-Russian border. And we also had a Swedish reconnaissance plane patrolling the shore of Kaliningrad in the Baltic Sea. And we also had NATO AWACS planes and reconnaissance planes patrolling Latvia and Estonia and the Baltic Sea. Here you can see this NATO AWACS plane that was looping near the Gulf of Riga. Pretty interesting. And then we had this MRTT plane looping in eastern Latvia right near the border with Belarus. Okay. So get prepared, guys. Things are about to kick off in Eastern Europe. We're going to see Belarus and Russia invade Lithuania and Poland at the same time as Russia attacks Ukraine with some kind of massive missile attack, maybe nuclear, maybe chemicals, maybe conventional. And then also Russia's building 2 new ground armies this year, which could amount up to 750,000 troops. And I think they're going to send them to potentially Kharkiv to take Kharkiv back and also to break through the front lines near Donetsk. Ukraine doesn't have hardly any fortifications along the front line, especially in Donetsk. So that would be a prime spot for Russia to attack and try to break through the line and then potentially go to Kyiv or points west. And remember, Putin kept saying that he wanted to create a sanitary zone so Ukraine could not shell Belgorod anymore. Well, I still think he's going to do that. And I don't know if he's going to do it with ground forces. I don't know if he's going to do it with chemicals or nuclear weapons, weapons of mass destruction. I have no idea, but I'm very concerned that Putin could use weapons of mass destruction in Ukraine after this whole shooting situation in Moscow, which is looking more and more like a false FLAG by the Russian government, which, by the way, they've done in the past. And they did it to kick off the Second Chechen War when Putin was prime minister. The FSB secretly bombed Russian apartments and blamed it on the Chechens. And that made Putin a hero when he ordered a military invasion of Chechnya, and they completely leveled the city of Grozny. Okay. Here we have Forte 13, a US RQ-4 Global Hawk reconnaissance drone, and it's flying over the Black Sea today, which means that we could expect more Ukrainian missile strikes on Crimea tonight, probably. And what's interesting is it's focusing its efforts across from the Kerch Bridge. So maybe they're going to attack targets over here near the Kerch Bridge or the Kerch Bridge itself. But do expect more Ukrainian missile attacks on Crimea probably tonight. But that's the latest breaking news that I have. Just get prepared, guys, because I think it's all going to kick off at once. I think Russia's going to try to make that sanitary zone and retaliate for this concert hall shooting. And at the same time, we're going to see Belarus attack Lithuania and Poland. And then at the same time, maybe Serbia is going to attack Kosovo. And we're going to have multiple fronts open up at once. And then potentially North Korea could attack South Korea. China could attack Taiwan. And then we have the situation in the Middle East with Hezbollah and Israel. So get prepared, guys, and also pray. Pray for the people of Israel. Pray for the people of Ukraine. Pray for the people of Taiwan and South Korea. Pray for the people of Russia, okay? We have to pray for peace on earth. Ask God to give us peace on earth, okay? No more wars, okay? This is getting crazy, all right? So I'll be back later on tonight with another update. Check out my nuclear war survival videos in the meantime so you're prepared if things do escalate and go nuclear. I'll leave links in the top right corner. And until later, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps. Prepare, practice, and persevere. Guys, the world is getting crazier by the day. We're on the verge of World War III. The U.S. is drowning in trillions of dollars in debt. Inflation is at an all-time high, and there's no end in sight. So you need to prepare your finances for the future with precious metals. Precious metals are a great way to protect your hard-earned savings and retirement against inflation and the uncertainty of the stock market. Also, precious metals are good to have for the purposes of preparedness, to be able to barter with people for essential supplies if the grid goes down. Every prepper should have at least a small amount of silver coins. The company I trust for my precious metals is Midas Gold Group. Text NYPrepper to 232425 for free information on precious metals. Midas Gold Group is 100% veteran owned and supports veterans through the Wounded Warrior Project. Midas Gold Group will work with you to convert part of your retirement savings into gold or to set up a gold IRA. And unlike many precious metals dealers, Midas Gold Group offers precious metals in small denominations, which is great for preparedness, so you have something tangible to use for bartering when the grid goes down. Precious metals have continuously risen in price over the past 100 years and are considered a safe investment. So text NYPrepper to 232425 for free information and to get started today.